Duane.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey man, I'm good. Happy birthday.
So how are you? How are you? How was the holiday? The
Really good, man. I was out in the
the making
desert.
friends with nature.
Yeah. That's what I do. That's really what I've always done, even since I was a little kid. Like I just disappear into nature, and that's just been my thing, like I'll just get lost for hours. And if anybody wants to come with me, great. And if nobody does, great. I'm like, there's just a fullness in nature
Also
that
great. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't require like a relationship to feel comfortable. There is no relationship. Like that really is where I find non-duality the most purely because it doesn't ask for anything. Like the human mind is always asking for something. It's asking for specialness, it's asking for like particular brand or flavor of relationship, and nature doesn't do that. It just is what it is authentically.
From Byron Katie, I learned a few things, which is naming. We name things. We name a tree, and then we take away its meaning.
Mm.
So instead of allowing the tree to show us what it is, we project what it is. Does
Hmm.
that make sense?
Totally.
So I've been walking consciously, and it was the most beautiful thing that I've ever experienced in my whole. It's like my eyes opened for the first time, and then it was so beautiful. I couldn't even look at it, and it was just down the street. You get what I mean? It was
Absolutely. I'm
so.
just I'm just letting you
That's
riff.
oneness to me.
I love hearing other people recognize and enunciate it.
That is that's oneness to me. That's awakeness. Um, I believe that I wanted to ask you about your experience as well, because I have no idea how you came to realize the path that you're on right now. I'm sure you weren't always like this. I'm sure you were like a normal person,
Still am.
just being a baby. You still am. You so yeah, yeah, yeah. But for me, it's not like I had this enlightenment experience, like this duality, like the oneness experience. But I did I was always an open-minded person. So I always looked at myself and also others. So I always had it like this perspective of me and others.
Hmm.
And then from there, I went into spirituality through, the Wicca stuff, the crystals. And then I evolved into more spiritual stuff like Muji. And then finally, Byron Katie, because Byron Katie gives you a practical way to live in this life.
Mm.
If you're not awakened, she's the perfect person to actually guide you with your mind.
That's nice.
So
I haven't
I use the
watched
word.
or listened to too much of Byron Katie, but at your suggestion, I think I will.
Yeah, it's especially good for people who aren't awakened, who don't have a concept of spirituality. It's very practical, extremely. And because of that, I have a deep understanding of spirituality. So, for example, I was smoking, I was overweight, I was doing all of these negative things to my body. But then, as I did the work, that's what she calls the process. It's 4 questions and a turnaround. Um, as I did the work, smoking quit me. I didn't quit smoking. Does
Mm.
that make sense?
Yes.
It's like I was no longer a vibrational match for it. If I change, everything around me changes. It's
Hmm.
amazing. Hmm. So that's what's been happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to know about your experience. How did you become?
Yeah, yeah, I hesitate to talk about my experience a little bit only because a lot of people will hear it and then compare their own experience to it, and it never goes the same way for two different people. Like everybody, this really happens in its own time, in its own way, in each of our lives differently. And so, although it can be helpful to hear about
Yeah.
awakening experiences, I'd caution anybody against comparing that to your own. Some happen abruptly, some happen gradually. I think what's probably most common
Mm.
is nothing happening for a while, punctuated by intense opening, and then nothing happening for a while, punctuated by an intense opening, and that happening over a span of 10 to 15 years. And that was kind of my experience. I probably started meditating when I was in high school, just because I was so discontent with reality. I grew up pretty well. I had a stable home. I had two loving parents. Um, I was the oldest of five siblings, and like I said before, I was always outside and in nature, often with those siblings or playing sports or whatever. A pretty normal childhood, but there was always this underlying discontentment with life, and so that kind of just provoked me to question, like, what is the purpose? Who am I? Why am I? And I asked those kind of questions from a really young age. I think in college was the first time I really demanded from the universe an acknowledgement or an answer to the question, who am I? Like I was really frustrated, didn't know where I was going in life. And so I sat with that question and it kind of just led to this openness. And I think that is the initial open doorway to this non-dual lived experience for everybody. If they naturally come to this question, who am I? I think that that is the question. That is the question to explore, and that will open up and propel anybody through the door. If they ask that authentically, if they arrive there authentically, asking the universe, who am I? And so that was, I'll say that that was kind of the beginning of the journey, even though, there were glimpses prior. Um, but yeah, then I got
Yeah, so
into different works. I would say some of my favorite works have been Nisargadatta Maharaj, I Am That was probably the most potent book, and that really resulted in some openings. White Fire by Muji really propelled me. And then a bunch of other works, a lot of non-dual and Eastern sages, I would say have been the most influential for me. I really didn't get into the Western teachers until kind of after my what I would term my awakenings. So like people like Rupert Spira and even Eckhart Tolle. I didn't really get into them until later. Now I hear them and they're just speaking from the same place that I always am, which is nice to hear from time to time. But I think this all culminated on the night my brother died, Jake, and although there were glimpses throughout the period prior, that night that I got word that my brother died, everything just evaporated for me in grief. Like I kind of call that story um, from grief to grace because it felt like Jake's transcendence of his own body pulled me out of my own or out of this belief that I am this body, this mind. And it I felt like I transcended along with him. And it's although I can still reference the body mind, it's really has no hold on this presence anymore. And so whether you want to call that awakening or enlightenment, I really don't care. I don't care to label it. I don't care what it is. I don't care what stage somebody might claim it to be. It's just open presence and it's forever free. Nothing can change it. Nothing can taint it. Anything that happens is just kind of a writing on water that goes back to its natural state automatically with no effort. And so
yeah,
I don't.
it's about love, love, love.
Yeah, and so that's kind of where I am now. And I don't know why I share. There's no reason or purpose behind my sharing. I'm not trying to gain followers. I'm not trying to become YouTube famous or anything like that. It's just kind of like the best I can describe it is the analogy of a flower. There's just a natural fragrance to a flower or a natural light to a candle. Like it doesn't try to put off light. It just is what it is. And that that's what this presence does or becomes with no effort. It just is the light. And somehow, if people smell that fragrance or see that light and feel like something is provoked within them, whether it's a questioning or a looking, so be it. And
That's exactly, yeah,
that's what Wild Satsang
true.
is. That's all it is. It's just a light.
That's exactly right. Because it's just like going to brush your teeth. It just is. It's
Hmm.
not something that you think about even. It's just an unfolding of who you are. It's the same with me. So I don't know if you've seen on TikTok, but I actually sing. I just do it because it's part of my nature. It's part of who I am. It is me.
Oh, beautiful.
You know, it just
What's your
comes out.
handle?
What?
I want to look you
What
up.
is that? Oh my gosh. No.
Yes.
No, no,
I
no.
want to look you up. What's your handle?
I shouldn't have said that. It's just my name, basically. You can
Okay.
just go and check my name on TikTok. I actually asked you on the first satsang, what time it would be on TikTok, and then you you gave us a reminder, so there was no need to reply.
Oh,
But
my
yeah,
bad. I get lost in social
it's
media all
okay.
the time. I'm not really great at it or on it a whole lot.
But I'm actually now I'm shy, but I shouldn't be. I should be proud because it's who I am. You
I
know,
found
there's also a
you.
lot of spiritual content. There's also a lot of spiritual content mixed in there. Some words of
Followed.
wisdom. Oh, thanks. Some words of wisdom, which comes from the heart. I usually try to speak from the heart before I go on social media. So I meditate, I go into centeredness, and then I speak from that space because I don't want to make it about me. And I still struggle with that because I am human, you know. But I do try and live consciously. I do understand that, like, even walking in nature, every single step that I take, I have to take notice of that. I have to know. I even notice temperature fluctuations. That's amazing. I've never felt that before. Just like walking 2 centimeters, you can feel the temperature difference. It's amazing. Just because I'm so open now,
Hmm.
because of my open mind. And you know what I love about me so much is my mind and my ability to see, let's call it repent, but it's actually turning away from you. You're constantly choosing the correct path.
Mm.
That's what I'm trying to do. I think. You know, it's a constant choosing yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And also, I've come to realize, and then recently, this has been the whole mind fuck, if I can say it like that. It's the
Hmm.
paradox of everything. It is unfathomable for my human mind to understand, but I do understand that there is a concept of a paradox and it does exist.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter. That's why I sent you that email, that poem about being a lighthouse,
Oh, I loved it.
because I figured out that if I do something, I'm affecting something else. That's the paradox. You
Hmm.
get what I mean?
Hmm.
So just being is the best thing you can do. Whether that is speaking or creating a YouTube channel or go brushing your teeth, just being is what is best uh, in every single moment. And you know, now that I'm thinking of it, I've also realized how much the universe loves each and every single one of us, and we are all one. But I mean, it just keeps on giving and giving and giving and giving. It never takes.
Mm.
It never takes. It just
Hmm.
gives. I mean, I'm lying on a couch. That's a miracle in and of itself. How we're talking to each other. How's that possible? Like it's a miracle.
It is. It
It's
is.
amazing.
Yeah, the fact that anything exists at all is a miracle. Because like it so
Yeah,
easily could not. It's all arising out of nothing and within nothing. And so why does this exist at all? It's a miracle.
exactly.
I have no
I
explanation for it.
there's a few theories.
I'd love to hear
There's a
them.
few theories that I've, and these are all Hindu theories actually. But there's this one theory about there's multiple universes, right? We are the one, but I actually believe that everything is connected anyway, even if you're in a different universes.
Yeah,
I believe all of it, all of
even
them
if
are connected.
even if the multiverse theory is correct, and I think it is, parallel universe theory is correct, and I think it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all still the same thing. It's still a movement of
Same.
one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So apparently, this dimension and this reality has been was an experiment. They split a photon, and then everything
Who's
split.
they?
And now it's like a theory. So I don't know who they is, but it's them, right? Let's just call it them. And then the theory is that the universe, someone or God tried to split an atom, and then the rest of the universes were also interested in this experiment. So that's why we get the aliens and what coming to give us guidance. But basically, the everything that happens is the universe trying to recognize itself, trying to piece all the puzzle pieces together. That's basically what this universe is about. And I'm not against it. It makes sense. It's like, but I think this was purposeful. I think the universe was intentional. We were, because even how the mind works makes me believe, because it's trying to control everything. We know that. Because it wants to exist, it wants to survive.
Hmm.
So, but it's programmed exactly like that. It is made like that so that we can have these challenges and have these growth, It's amazing. But also at the same time, there comes the paradox. It's not. Yeah.
And
Sorry.
the mind can entertain both, but it can't grasp both at the same time. And that's the interesting thing about mind. And that's why it will never actually get you to non-duality. It needs to be left at the door. If you're truly going to abide in and as this, you leave the mind at the door because it really can't grasp the final understanding, which isn't an understanding at all. It's a being. It's an abidance.
Impossible. But what I can do with Byron Katie's the work is work on the mind at least to suffer less.
Hmm.
So that in and of itself open up all these. I have like this general or a good understanding of how everything works. It's because my mind is clean. I'm
Hmm.
not cluttered with all of these egoic thoughts that I used to have. I still have them. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I am much better than I was a few years ago
Well,
when it comes to thought.
speaking of, and we can get into whatever juicy shit you'd like to get into, and I'd love to. But I would like to hear a little bit of how you arrived here, how you got here, and what your journey has
Oh my
been
God.
like. I
You're
want to understand more about you
like,
because
like
everything
okay, so
that you bring up in the group set song is made me really enjoy your sharing, and I want to know where it's coming from.
it's coming from a place of deep hurt.
Mm.
So when I was young, I'm gay, first of all, you can obviously tell. But you can't actually these days, you never know. But
I
a lot
never,
of I
yeah,
was
it
bullied.
never even arrived in my mind whether you were one way or the other. It's, yeah.
You see, so you can't tell these days. So I'm gay, and South Africa is predominantly Christian, predominantly. So I was bullied because of that, and I was
Mm.
ostracized, and I was pushed away. But I realized my thinking back then was very victimized. I was in a victim mindset because I grew up with abusive parents as well. And then I brought that fearful energy to school, and then they picked up on that, and then it kept reminding me, listen, you have to work on this, you have to work on this, you have to work on this, you have to work on this. But I didn't get it. As a child, you are a victim because no one taught you, or my parents didn't teach me that I needed to step my game up, or I need to think about it like this. But the most amazing part when I saw that there's two of me, there's not just one. There's the observer, and then there's me acting out and feeling like the victim. While I was being bullied, each and every single time, I noticed my reaction. How is that possible?
Hmm.
So, so that was the first part.
How
But
old
I
were
still
you?
felt like the victim. I was like 10,
Nice. Good noticing.
10. Yeah. And then I realized that these people don't actually want to hurt me, these children. I noticed their feelings instead of my own. Then I realized that I'm playing the game that they want me to play. We're all playing this game, and I'm just like acting a part of it. And then from there, I realized, okay, so if that's true, what else can I notice? And then I started to notice, this person is bullying me, actually is bullied at home as well. So he's also projecting some negativity that comes from, and because of that, I have come to realize that every single person loves me, whether they say it or not. That I can't see you as not loving me. It's impossible.
Hmm.
But it's because I've suffered so much. I had to, but this could have gone the wrong way as well. I could have become like very dark, but I used this to grow. It's like alchemy. I alchemized the darkness into light, or transfigured the energy into something positive.
Hmm.
And I realized the beauty of it all. So if I say today that I would not change a single thing, other people would think I'm crazy. But I love my past. I love everything that happened to me because I am the way I am today
Mm.
because of that. Yeah. So I went through a lot. Like I've been robbed. Oh my gosh, let me tell you about the robbery. It was so funny. But this was after this was after I've been robbed a few times, actually. But none of them is scary. It's because of my mind. This was before Byron Katie even. But I think I was matched with Byron Katie because it was the time, I think. But anyway, before that I was robbed. And I told the guy in his language he's crazy for robbing us. And then he held the gun against my head. I'm like, okay, because if I fear that I'm going to die, it's unnecessary because I haven't died yet. Unless he pulls the trigger, and even if he kills me, it's okay. Then it's really okay. But I did tell him, don't do this to yourself. That's what I told him because you're not doing it to me. You're doing it to yourself. I just looked and he cried. He went on his knees and cried. Um, Yeah. And then the other time, everyone else was freaking out. So I was at my friend's house with like six men coming in with guns. It was supposed to be so scary. I don't fall for this anymore. I don't know why. Anyway, so they they came in. I just know. I don't know. I just know things. They held the baby in their arms and they threatened to shoot the baby. But I realized it was just a fear tactic, to get us to give our phones to them or whatever they needed. I saw the fear in their eyes. I saw that they were so scared. Um, and everyone around me was so scared, and I was just noticing. It was like I wasn't even there. I was noticing from a higher perspective, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
It does.
And this all happened way before Byron Katie. And then I came up to the book called Conversations with God by I think it was Neil Donald Walsh.
Mm.
That is a book about him channeling God, basically. And then it's changed my whole perception of what I thought God was. It was mind blowing. And that opened up a whole new world. This, because I was so religious also, because of, you grow up religious, but I also questioned it. I was like, something is not right here. There's too much control happening and it doesn't feel right, you know?
Hmm.
And especially me, I'm gay, so I don't fit in at all. Like at all. People were trying to pray the gay away. So I was in church and they were trying to pray the demon out of me.
Oh my
Back then I
God.
was still young, so I felt like yeah, back then I was so young.
That could
So
be
I
so
thought that
traumatizing.
they were doing something to me. But now I realize that these people actually really cared about me.
Mm.
They cared about me so much that they went through all of the trouble to gather everyone. I was the star of the show, you know? Instead of me thinking, no, you're gonna change me. Now I think, wow, you love me so much. Wow. You see, this is my mind. This is the way I think
No,
now.
it's beautiful, and it's actually more. It's actually less the mind and more indicative of a heart-centered space that is very grounded. You don't get to the presence that you were in those moments if you aren't very heart-centered and very grounded. The mind is the one
Oh wow.
that is always focused on self-preservation and self-gain. And if we can
Oh,
release those things, then your experience, even in tumultuous moments, is the natural thing. There's just no longer a fear of death or loss because there's an understanding, whether it's in consciousness or not, that you are the ground of being and you cannot be affected here. This play going on is not changing or impacting in any way who and what you ultimately are here and now in this moment. And that is the heart-centered space that I would love if everybody got to, whether or not they realize non-duality, whether or not they realize liberation or enlightenment, just get to this heart-centered space at the very least in this lifetime. And everything else will just kind of play out. Everything else kind of comes more into a harmony, whether you're getting robbed or you have a gun to your head or somebody's trying to pray the gay out of you. That's all like let them dance, let them dance. You're in this heart-centered space and you just are not pulled or affected or tainted by this because you don't have this belief in this identity structure anymore. And so this what you're speaking
no.
to is this heart-centered space that I'm hoping that everybody can get to in this lifetime. It's very achievable.
It is, especially if you have the tools like Byron Katie gives you. And even you actually, you know what you do? I've realized you have this habit, but it's a good habit of asking people to hold the feeling because the mind is so busy, you don't even notice what you're actually feeling in a moment.
Hmm.
So you have to hold the feeling in order to experience it and bring your awareness to it so that it can heal by itself. It will
Yes.
just dissolve.
Yes.
It will literally just dissolve just by holding it. And that's even better than Byron Katie's the work, but not everyone can do that, what you just described.
Mm,
Those are for people who are more open, more aware, more, spiritual. But Byron Katie's practice is more for people who are not so open-minded
mm,
because it's a more practical approach. It's more like, is it true?
mm.
And usually the answer is always no. So my life has become a question mark at the moment. I
Yeah.
don't, if I proclaim something, it has a question mark at the end.
Perfect. That I mean
And
that's why it's called the living mystery. It's a perpetual
yeah,
question mark, and that question mark allows the openness.
yeah, it's beautiful, man. And also this wasn't something that just happened overnight. Just like your journey, it was something that's gradual.
Hmm.
You unfold more and more and more, and you still make mistakes. I'm sure everyone will make mistakes. I don't care. Even Byron Katie, she makes mistakes mistakes.
Right.
But for me, I don't see another person as less enlightened as me. That's impossible for me because you are who you are. You can't be what you're not.
Hmm.
And you always have what you need in
Hmm.
every single moment. There's no moment that I've never had anything.
And
Like,
regardless of what it looks like, it's all made of one thing, and that is already the enlightened
yeah,
essence. There is no separation.
yeah. And imagine you have to get to this point, and everyone around me thinks I'm crazy. Like they think I have no emotions. They think that I don't. Why am I not affected by this and this and this? Why am I so chill? Like I don't care. For me, the world can end. I really don't care. It's like it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, there's no attachment to it, and yet there can be a total enjoyment and in immersing in it.
There's an excitement in me. It is exciting. It's like, but it's not always there. I also know I've noticed this when I have such bursts of emotions, and I'm so excited. The opposite is also true. Not maybe not now, but at a later stage, the depression might come or something.
Mm,
I noticed that with great positive emotions, there's also the the bottom part. It's like this balance that needs to take place. So I'm trying to be like this, not like a roller coaster, you know? But sometimes I'm moved by people's emotions. Sometimes I'm moved by happiness and joy and all those positive things. I'd rather be moved by that than through the negative stuff.
Mm.
Negative stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sure even on the roller coaster ride, you recognize that you're already both. There's an appearance and a play of this roller coaster ride, but it's all happening within this dimensionless field of non-happening, which is aware and present always.
Yeah. Yeah. And nothing can take that away from
Nothing.
me, at least. It can't because I am that. You
You are
are that.
that. Yes. And if the
Yeah.
world disappeared today, you would still be that.
Still be that. Exactly. That's why I'm not affected because, and I don't even know how I got this understanding because usually people have to go through so enlightenment process. I don't know.
Not
It's just
necessarily.
who I am.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this a little bit about the concept of mass awakening, and I really do think that humanity is ripe for it because I do think that this sort of veil of identity is thinning, and I don't think it requires 10 years in a zendo before a Buddhist monk gives you the ultimate koan or something like that. I don't think it requires a grand enlightenment experience in order for people to realize their true and ultimate nature. I think the veil is thin to the point where this can become regular conversation and regular people can come into it, realize it, and ground it regularly. I think that's the potential here and now for everybody.
Yeah, but I especially think that about Gen Z. But they are so much more awake than we give them credit for. They are more open to spirituality. They're more open to these kinds of talks. They're more open to diversity. They they question all control patterns. They, I'm telling you, they are the future, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I think
Yeah.
humanity is evolving and going in that direction, and I think it'll continue to do so until, there's a full realized society, and I think that that's the potential here and now, but even more so as we go forward.
I believe that I don't know if you know about the Kali Yuga. It's a cycle.
I've heard of it. Yeah, yeah.
So I do believe in these cycles because if you look at nature, there's cycles.
Hmm.
And if you look at your life, there's cycles. And we live in misalignment with the cycles, by the way. We don't live in alignment. But it's okay. We don't have to. I mean, life is life. I can't tell someone else what to do, but I know what's best for me. But and I do know that if I know what's best for me, I know that there's cycles. The universe works in cycles. The moon has cycles. Everything has cycles.
Hmm.
Therefore, um, periods and areas of let's say empires, reigns also have cycles.
Hmm.
And the darkness has its cycle, like the Dark Ages. They had that was a cycle, and then came the industrialization, and then came everything has cycles. And I believe now, since we've explored the religious ideas to its maximum, the new path through that is awakening and awareness and oneness.
Agreed.
And there's even more above that. But for now, we're still babies, you know, we're
Hmm.
still the veil is still here, but it's thin.
Hmm.
We can literally just poke through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your favorite animal? I wanted to know that.
Oof. My favorite animal. It changes every time I see a new
Yeah.
animal. Yeah, I don't know if I can point to a favorite animal. I just like ecosystems. I like the entire I love the thing as a whole. There's although individual animals are amazing, I think the process or the system of coexistence is like the most interesting thing about it because none of them could exist independently. It's all a interdependent network. It's We used to, when I was growing up, we used to think of it as a food chain, a linear food chain. And now we think of it more as like a ecosystem network. And that's kind of similar to how we're doing this whole spiritual enlightenment thing. We used to think of it as ascension. And now non-duality brings into light the dimensionless here and now. It's the mind that projects a past and a future. But really, that's just a false projection. It's an illusion. It's always now. It's always here. And to further explore that, it's can you dissect here apart from now? Or can you dissect now apart from here? Like we think of these things as different concepts, but they're not. It's the exact same thing. You can't pull them apart. And I think of animals in much the same way, even though I can look at a harpy eagle and amaze at its structure. I could look at one for forever. I actually probably could watch a harpy eagle forever. But to pull that outside of, the forest in which it lives in is an illusion. It's all one thing. It's all one breathing entity, and humanity is part of that as well. And I think that nature itself is what amazes me.
You know, it was also amazing while I was doing my walk, my conscious walk. I call it my conscious walk. I noticed that the plants were supplying me with oxygen, right? And
Hmm.
I was in turn giving them food as well.
Hmm.
So I'm part of this ecosystem. And it was like, okay, but it's amazing. It's just amazing what you notice if your mind is open to oneness, right? If you're conscious and you bring your awareness to now. Because I used to walk without even thinking about it.
Hmm.
I wasn't aware that I was walking. I was just walking. I was mindless. I was like a zombie. Now my awareness is I try to even breathe consciously. I try to even, you know,
Hmm.
it's a choice, but it's not easy. The mind wanders and it goes away. It's like it's not easy. I'm trying.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
helps a lot though.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that really pulls you into this is the exploration of the self, which ultimately leads into the realization of no self. And I'm curious just to ask you, where are you in that? Have you found or located a sense of self from which all of this moves and operates? Like it's clear to me that you are a very advanced quote unquote seeker, even though that's an illusory kind of label, as you
Yeah.
know. But it's clear to me in your sharings, especially in group satsang, that you know what you're looking at and you know what you're looking from. So, but I'd love to just get your natural and authentic take on the self. Like where are you in that exploration? Like where are you looking from right now? Like what is looking?
Um, it's it's indescribable. It is a it is a oh, fuck. I'm gonna cry, but it's amazing. It is. Oh my God. How do I even how do you explain something like that? It is God.
Yeah.
It
No, it's
is
perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect that you can't, because allowing that to be the open mystery is what allows what you're speaking about to be fully present on your walks, to be fully present in the moment as you breathe and as you move from one step to another and you feel the temperature changes. It's that letting go of this selfhood, looking from a centered place that allows the expansiveness to just take in the moment. And it's really not being taken in anything, it's the living moment as itself. You are that.
I just also came to another I also came to another realization. Every time it's about these walks. I love my walks.
Good.
So I walk and then I realized that without me that experience would not have been possible. You know?
And what is me?
The trees but I know where you're going with this. But just imagine this filter, this body as a filter, right? Experiencing the sensations. I can't experience it without awareness. I can experience it, and I experience it every day. But without the awareness, it wouldn't have been so beautiful. It wouldn't have blossomed into this beauty. When I look at you, Chris, I can see God. I can see myself. I can see I can see love, you know? I can see brightness. I can see energy. I everything. Um, but yet we label. If I look at you, I can say you're Chris, and then that's it. But actually, I always have the saying, no two people have ever met,
Hmm.
because we live in past and future. We don't live in presence. Plus, even your nervous system registering what I'm saying takes a while. So you're actually hearing me in the past.
Hmm.
And our time zones differ as well. So that's an extra added layer. But you know what I mean?
Oh,
There
totally.
is no presence with the ego. But in order for us to have this experience, we do need the ego. We do need it because otherwise we'll be nothing.
No, true. Like the ego or the illusion of self is the prism through which infinite consciousness is looking through in order to fractalize itself into a myriad of perceptions or impressions in consciousness. And that's all of this. That's reality. That's you. That's me. That's the leaf. That's the air.
And so I always say I'm not trying to get rid of the ego.
Mm.
That's not the goal that I'm trying to get at. I see the ego as a little child. It wants to survive. It wants to be noticed. Look at me, look at me. You know, it's very attention seeking. It
Yeah.
tries to divert your attention, but I don't label it as bad. I label it as actually it's very important for me. The ego is extremely important, just as important as the universe, actually,
Hmm.
because we are all working together. And if your mind, oh, and you've got your conscious mind and your subconscious mind as well. You do know about that. So, so then there's multiple layers to everything. But yeah, yeah, that's all.
Well, we need to get into that. That's an interesting subject. But yeah, I would totally agree. The ego is not your enemy. The ego is it in as I frame it, the ego is just a prism of perception. It allows perception. It allows distinction. It
Yeah,
allows, categorization and it filters in our experience. It's the prism of perception, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the beautiful thing that
yeah.
allows the enjoyment of the beauty of life. It's the prism of perception. That's the ego.
It's
It's
like
attachment
it's
that we need to let go of, not the ego.
yeah,
It's attachment to the
yeah,
things
yeah,
that come
yeah.
through the filter or prism.
So ego, I like to describe as an app on a computer on your phone.
Hmm.
Instead of seeing the code, you have an app
Hmm.
that makes it easier to navigate. Because if I didn't have that app, I would think a lion is my friend, and I would just go pet the lion. You get what I mean? So
Oh,
you do
totally.
need this.
Are you familiar with
Yeah.
Donald Hoffman and his book, The Case Against Reality?
No, I
Oh,
don't
he
know
talks about
that book.
exactly that. Donald Hoffman is a PhD scientist exploring reality, and his book, The Case Against Reality, says almost exactly what you just
Okay.
said. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But I also will always say, no, no, there's no new thoughts. Everything has already been thought. So if I think about that, he's also thought about that, and every thought has been thought. Just think about it. Please think of a new thought for me, and I
Yeah.
will tell you some some way or someone who has already thought it.
Right,
That's
right.
all.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
funny exercise. Yeah, so you brought up before conscious and subconscious, and although those
subconscious.
are valid distinctions, I'm curious how you frame them.
Okay, so whew, so your subconscious is very powerful because it evolved with the whole of the universe. It is something that is ancient. Your conscious mind is something that's relatively new. It is something that evolved. I do believe in evolution, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Um, it is something that evolved recently, and it also can't keep up with whatever the subconscious has come up with right now, like technology, and we're stagnant, we don't move enough. It is very damaging to our bodies and our psyche, especially. We are meant to move. We are primal. We are animalistic in nature. Even though people don't like that, we are. We are animals, but we are animals with consciousness. But yeah, so the subconscious mind for me is like the parasympathetic nervous system as well. It also like you're breathing subconsciously. You're breathing. You don't even think about it, and it is the intelligence that goes inside of your each and every single cell in your body. It governs all of that. It is something that the conscious mind cannot fathom. It is something completely separate. It is a whole different layer, but they both work together. So for navigating the world, you need your conscious mind for navigation and for connecting and communication, those types of things. It's a whole different energy. Do you feel that?
Hmm.
Even if I say just talking to you, this is the conscious mind talking, but the subconscious is like this just beingness, this infinite boundlessness, this intelligence that you can't even describe. It's the most intelligent thing is our body.
Mm.
The most intelligent machine that ever created is our bodies,
Mm.
to me.
Yeah, I know, I
That's
agree.
that's the subconscious and the conscious.
Mm.
What is your take?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
naturally my like although my mind can make distinctions, I just don't. Like distinctions just kind of like dropped for me. And this kind of all relates to also the distinction of inside and outside. Like it's so natural to think of an inside and an outside, inside my mind and that's outside my mind. And if you investigate that fully, what the fuck are you talking about? It's both inside awareness. Like what that no matter how far you point out is inside your awareness. And no matter how far you point in is inside awareness. And so
Inside your
inside
awareness.
and outside, I don't make those distinctions. I don't make distinction really at all in those types of ways anymore. They just don't they're just not true. They're like I can't hold them anymore.
Yeah, it makes sense, but that's where the paradox comes in
Yes.
that I'm talking about, which is why I hesitate to say things anymore because I know the truth, just like you know the truth, but I say them anyway.
Yes.
I do have to make the distinction because for but you know maybe some of this will go onto YouTube and I give full consent. You can put anything on YouTube if
I
you need,
appreciate you. Your
but
openness.
yeah. Yeah, but if we were talking about
Distinctions,
what
conscious and subconscious, and
distinctions? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for me, you have to make distinctions for normal people. You have to in order to communicate what you want to say. But that's the paradox. The paradox is that it's not true. So I believe that language in and of itself is false. It's dividing. Like language in and of itself is division.
you might have to get this.
Yeah, no problem.
What's up,
Please go
love?
ahead.
Okay. I'll just do the same thing you're having. All right. All right. Love you too. Bye. Thank you. Sorry, I
No
didn't mean to
problem.
interrupt you.
How I'm the most chill person. Like you can't do anything to me. Like I will
Good.
never ever, and that's why I freak people out because they're like, "Why aren't you angry? Why aren't you?" I can't.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
can't.
there's
I don't.
yeah,
I see through
when you get to a
illusion.
certain place of realization and centeredness in your true and authentic being, the fear just kind of doesn't land anymore. It just doesn't. Like you can't hold certain things anymore. Just like I can't hold the distinction between inside and outside anymore. You can't hold fear anymore. Like you can't hold these th they just don't land anywhere anymore. And so I totally know what you mean. And good on you for it. It's just an indicator of where you're at, and it's a very quote unquote advanced space.
Do you know how much love is emanating from you, Chris?
I
It
do
is.
because it's not mine.
It's
It's
okay.
just
This
being.
wasn't you. Just be. You're right. It's so true. Oh, 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 I sometimes, sometimes I feel like, what is the point of it all? I really do,
Hmm.
because I feel the uselessness of it all, like the mind and the way it labels things and the way it's, I don't know. I don't know if there's dark forces out there who misled us. I don't believe that, because I believe even that is us. I mean, we are all one, even with the dark Satan or whatever. It's me as
It's
well.
yeah, it's all still the
Nothing is not.
movement of one thing. You know, it's all a spectrum. Really, really, it's not a spectrum with this side and that side. It's just a circular whole. It's just, it's all one movement of one
Yeah,
thing. Whether we call it dark or light, good or evil, it's all the movement of one thing. It's all okay.
I also believe that, because I'm capable of both.
Hmm.
And if I'm capable of both, everyone else is, and
Hmm.
everything else is. I always take myself as an example, because if you look inwards, you can look outwards. If that makes sense.
Totally. Yeah.
You can look better outwards if you look inwards.
Hmm.
Yeah. So if you've got this, you know everything. So I don't even know why we're talking. We're talking for other people so
Yeah,
that they
well,
can understand.
I definitely don't know everything at all, but I do know my being. I know who and what I am,
Yeah.
and in that, yeah, is the potential for everything. From that sprouts everything, and it's the same for all people, all things.
Do you have desires left? Like,
Yeah. I don't hold on to them like they aren't like I don't hold on to, but desires arrive in my mind and I entertain them if they seem, if there's energy
good.
behind
Yeah.
them. Yeah, I entertain them. Yeah, there's desires for sure. There's likes and
For me,
dislikes. There just really isn't the
yeah,
same level of attachment there once was.
yeah. And that's the problem with me, is the detachment. Um, so it's like I've got this boundless love and awareness, and then at the same time I'm so disconnected because because it doesn't make I don't want to be a part of. I'm no longer the same as a normal human being,
Hmm.
and I have to
You're not
say it.
guided
I
by
know
the same impulses.
it's yeah. It's like I can be on the street and I'll be fine.
Hmm.
It's like I can have all the money in the world and I'll be fine. I can have
Hmm.
no money and I'll be fine. I can. I don't know. Like
You're
there's no more drive.
you're
There's
speaking to
no
the
more
practicalities of
desire.
liberation. That's what's called liberation. That is the result of liberation. When you no longer are dragged or pulled about by money or having things, objects, whatever, whether you're rich or you're poor, I am. I still am. I'm still presence. The presence is unchanged, whether I have a mansion or I have a hut or I live in a sewer or live in a tree. I am. I am presence. It changes nothing. And that's liberation. You're speaking to it. That's it.
And that's the thing that I'm struggling with the most right now, is that um detachment.
Mm.
Because I've been living with this for a long time, by the way. It's not just something that's only, it's been like this for a long time. Then I'm thinking to myself, okay, everyone else is just living their lives, they've got their shit together, they can just go and work, and I can't I'm not interested in working. Like, for a boss, I can't. Not anymore. I'm actually a massage therapist now. I'm
Nice.
doing well. Yeah, yeah, I'm doing well. I'm giving people advice if they ask. If they don't, I just keep quiet. You know, they invite themselves to me,
Hmm.
and it's so strange. Whenever I'm present, clients come like this. It's crazy. And then whenever my mind is jumbled, they just disappear. But it's best for them and for me,
Mm.
you know? So either way, I'm okay, and they are okay. It's everything's happening for me.
Mm. Hmm.
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 So,
I love your sharings.
Hmm. Yeah, I've got a lot to share, but we don't have infinity. But we do, actually,
We do.
ironically, we do have infinity. That's
Paradoxically,
for
right? Like life ends, but
yeah.
actual we are infinity now, and so you could say it both ways.
It's like both is true. But this is my new motto in life. Both are true.
Yes.
Both answers. Always. And that's why. And I took a personality test before all of this 5 times to make sure. And it showed that I'm INFJ. Obviously, I'm the weirdo, the the outcast. But I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I've always
good.
been different.
You took a personality ch
Yeah.
test just to make sure you weren't a psycho.
I took a personality test 5 times to make sure that I am the one that's the rarest. Because I was like, am I biased in my decisions? Like, am I rare? Why am I rare exactly? So I was like figuring out what criteria makes me rare. And then I figured out it's the spiritual part. A lot of people don't think the way I do because they don't think on both sides. They don't say you are correct and I'm correct.
Hmm,
They'll always say I'm correct.
right.
That's the ego. So I was born this way, basically, and I'm lucky. I'm
Yeah.
lucky. I'm blessed to be born this way because my mind is naturally more open.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
And
you know this, but in some traditions they would say that, that's due to good karma, things done in previous lifetimes that
exactly,
you've earned that. And whether or not that's true, I mean, it sounds plausible to me, but either way, I don't really care. But yeah, no, that is beautiful. And what you what you describe of being able to hold both sides or two opposite seeings, perspectives really is super powerful and potent practice. Like if people can do that, they'll realize how boundary dissolving that is, how much of the separation, the illusion of separation, fades and dissolves and evaporates. If you can hold both sides, both perspectives at once, that dissolves a lot of feelings of separation. And what replaces it is a vast open space that you speak to on your walks.
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Hmm.
And and I've come to actually this was earned, by the way. This realization was earned through my suffering.
Hmm.
I had a choice between. Are you crying?
No, I was gardening before our conversation. It was hot out, so I
Oh,
was sweating, so there's like salt in my eye
oh.
right now.
I was like, oh.
No, but I do cry and tear up regularly. Things just strike me as beautiful all the time, and I'll cry and
Nature
tear up.
made me cry.
Yeah, all the
I
time.
cried. I saw a painting and I cried
Yeah,
because of the painting.
yeah,
I was like, wow,
yeah.
wow.
Like the body system can really become overwhelmed with the truth, the intimacy of beauty when you're fully open to it.
And we miss it so many times.
Mm.
Even me talking to you, I'm missing so many things, but it's not my fault. I
Hmm.
do know that. It's not your fault. We are all innocent. Did you know that?
I did.
There's not. I was like, thank God, someone is on the same level as me.
Yeah, I mean, we are fully innocent, and so is everything. In fact, the innocence of pure being is the ground of reality. Everything is innocent. It's just the mind that prescribes non-innocence or projects, stains on pure being. Everything is ultimately innocent. You, I, everything.
Yeah, you have no choice.
Mm.
Even though free will is a big thing, you have no choice. I've come to realize that, and that's the beauty of it all,
Mm.
is that just surrendering. And I honestly think I don't want to boast myself, I don't want to feel like but I really do think I am enlightened, and to some degree, I haven't experienced the oneness, but the way the way I see the world is like I had that experience before.
Mm.
Does it make sense?
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not going out and telling people this. I won't. because
Right,
as
right.
we
It's
go,
it's not it's not it's
as,
not it's not a it's not a the right thing to do because then other people will prescribe specialness and it's not. Enlightenment is actually a total lack of specialness. It's the realization of the
I'm
ground of being that we
completely
all
all.
already are. So, but people
Hmm.
won't generally understand that. They'll think that, oh, this person's trying to put themselves on a pedestal or trying to say that they're
Yeah,
special or holy in a way that
yeah,
I'm not. And
yeah,
that's incorrect. That's not true. And so it's not
yeah.
really right in today's society to say I'm enlightened. Who's enlightened anyways? What is that?
Yeah. What is enlightenment?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
who
that
who would be the
even
one to be enlightened anyways? Like, what is that?
yeah, and if one person is not enlightened, that means that I'm not enlightened either,
From the traditional
since we're all
standpoint of
connected,
enlightenment, true, true, true. Yeah.
right? But we are all, I believe, like let's say 100 million years ago when we were like primates, who was more enlightened than another? And what makes their consciousness better than ours? Does that make sense? It's just different. It's more intense, maybe, the energies, but it still come from the same source. And everything has divine timing. I believe in that. Um, Nothing is coincidental to me. There's no coincidences at all. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you believe in coincidence?
well, I think coincidence is just a way that the mind likes to frame what is. Like it's just the natural unfoldment of what is. And I think the topic of enlightenment, whether it's an ape 100,000 years ago or an ascended master 100,000 years in the future, I think this is all the mind's way of hierarchical assignment, categorization. And it's
Yeah,
ultimately untrue because it's a projection. Like what is actually true is that all of this is here and now. Like all of this is a potentiality of here and now. It's all infinite consciousness peering through the prism of finite consciousness. And that's what you are, that's what I am, that's what the ape is, and that's what ascended masters are. And it's all the same thing, just peering through different prisms. It's infinite consciousness or
yeah.
God looking through different prisms, but it's all the same thing. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you. All my love.